Humans, you so often, once you define that you want something, you want it right now. Esther tells everyone, I really like instant manifestation. And it is way fun. There isn't anything more delicious to humans to be on the brink of something bursting right into your experience where you can devour it with all of your senses. That really is good. But there's a lot of satisfaction in watching it unfold or be molded into place vibrationally. And so don't take score too soon. It's like the analogy that we like to offer is putting the seed in the ground, understanding the power that is within the seed, and knowing that it's not going to be instant, but it is going to be soon enough, that it is a sure thing. So you put it in the soil that you tend to, and you tend to it with what it needs. And if you stick around for the pleasure of watching the unfolding, you see it become a sprout, and then more, and then more, and then more, until it is bearing the food that you want. But humans, so often you put the seed in the ground and it's just not instant manifestation, taking too long. And of course you wouldn't be so absurd to just dig up the seed and eat it. All right, I'll take you as you are. You're usually willing to let it unfold. And of course, unless you're a farmer or a gardener or have planted anything or have been alive in this world at all and never seen how things like that happen, of course, everyone understands it. It's a ridiculously simple explanation of how everything in the universe works. The water is warm before it's hotter. Esther watched a pot boil the other day. She was sort of out of her mind. Took a minute, just watched some water come to a boil. She had eggs in it. It wasn't completely ridiculous. But she was just sort of mesmerized by watching it. It was a new stove, and the distance of the flame to the pot was a little more than she'd experienced in her previous kitchen. And so she was interested in what was going on, the height of the flame and its relationship to the pot. She felt like she had a good reason for doing this silly thing. So she stood there, and then she saw the bubbles form on the bottom. It's a really special pot too. She just got it. She really liked this pot. And then the bubbles started going up the side, and then it wasn't long before it had come to a full boil. And afterward, she was pondering why that had interested her at all. And then these thoughts began to flow from us to her. Notice, or remember having noticed, that it got this hot, and then it got this hot, and then it got this hot, and it came to a boil, and you knew it would. There was no doubt in your experience whatsoever, because you understand the physics of your universe to that extent. And we want you to understand the physics of this universe in the fullest extent. We want you to understand that trending is trending is trending is trending is trending. And whether you've got your pot on a flame and it's a pot of something you want, or whether it's a pot of something you don't want, you put it on and give it your attention, and it will come to fruition, because that's the way the law of attraction works. So things wanted and unwanted are interrupted by turning them off. In other words, if you feel negative emotion, turn it off. Turn it off. Don't call someone and say, you know what I was just thinking? You know what just happened to me? Really? Tell me more. Well, how much time do you have? Because this is really interesting. And you can get a pot boiling really, 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 really fast. And then more things like that come into your experiences that you think are just happenstance. Isn't that freaky? I worried about that, and then that happened, and then I worried about that, and then that happened. And then people say, you know, those things always come in threes. And we say they'll come by the hundreds and thousands. If you get a pot on and you let it boil, in other words, you have to decide what you want to turn the power of the universe that you have access to. What do you want to turn it into? What thoughts do you want to turn to things? Because you are the thing maker. You are the creator of your reality, you see. Oh, there are a lot of others around you, and you're observing them, and they're making things all over the place. And this is what we meant when we were talking to you earlier about, well, you know, not wanting to spend too much time getting people to relate to unwanted things. Because there are people around you that you are observing, do you know that most of you offer most of your vibration in response to what you're observing? Which means what's already manifested is the basis of what you manifest next. Isn't that getting to be pretty obvious as you start paying attention to what's going on? Now, it doesn't have to be that way. And sometimes you feel like, oh, well, we need to get a movement going because we need to put the brakes on this. And we say, nothing like that needs to happen, because you create what comes to you. You turn your vibration into more vibration, into more vibration, into more vibration, into thoughts, into more thoughts, into words, into more words, into experiences, into things, into all things. It's all about your trending. And the thing that we want to point out to you is that the whole time you're trending, you're feeling if you're paying attention. You can tell when you got something good going on. How's it going? Good. What do you mean? I have no evidence. I can just feel it. Well, you're one of those crazy people, aren't you? Yeah.